Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming to this. It's day 2 of the expo, isn't it? Well and truly. Are you here for your first day? Yeah. Why would anyone do 2 days? I do because I have to. But you can tell the people who've been here for 2 days because they walk a bit like this. Feet are just gone. I think when I die, I will go inevitably to hell, and this is more or less what it will look like, I think. This is more or less what it will look like. Quick question for you. Has anyone noticed, before I said this, that I haven't ironed my shirt? Nobody noticed. There is a revolution going on here, people. A revolution. This is amazing news. Should we get into this, though? I'm from IMRG. We're a trade body for online retail in the UK. So what we do is we track lots and lots of data. And I've got some stuff to show you here today. I know you're thinking, oh, it's a vendor pitch. He's going to come up and say, what's the answer to what the cross-border shoppers want? It's buy our solution. But that's not my answer. We've gone and done a survey and found out what the people want from you. So we've gone and done a survey from Australian, USA, and Ireland. So we've got those 3 countries. And we've asked them a bunch of questions about what they want from UK retailers and how they perceive us. So I'm just going to show you that, and you'll see that it's mixed news, frankly. So I'll jump into it. First of all, we're just going to talk about general attitudes towards UK retailers. So, do they like UK retailers? Are they, how do they perceive us? Do they think we're good? There's some animations that the marketing team put in. Does anyone want to see that again? There it goes. They spent ages doing that. So the first question that we asked them, and this is all of them together, and then we'll split it out by country, okay? So have you ever purchased an item from a UK retailer? Very, very basic question. 47% of them said, yes, I have bought from a UK retailer, okay? So that's, I don't know, is that good? Feels all right, I think, that number. When you split it out by country, right, so you'll get used to this. I'm not a designer. I make all these graphs in Excel. But this is Australia here, this is Ireland, and this is USA. Okay, so yes, no, and I am unsure for all 3 of those there. So Ireland is the highest, 59%. So you have to think proximity to the UK. Probably that kind of makes sense. USA is the one with the lowest proportion of people saying, yes, I have bought from a UK retailer before. But keep that in mind. So when we say, would you purchase from a UK retailer again? So this is just the people who have purchased from a UK retailer before. And it's not bad. 62% is pretty good, isn't it? 62% saying, yes, I would do so again. Maybe is quite high as well. No, it's actually reasonably low. So this is a good news. This is a good news chart, this one. But if you split it out by country, so the same question, but this time split out by the different countries, Australia is actually relatively low in saying that they would do again. Ireland is in the middle. So USA, if you remember on our previous question, it's got the lowest proportion of people who said that they have bought from a UK retailer, but the highest proportion who say, yes, I would do so again. So they seem to like it. Why would you not purchase from a UK retailer again? So if you said, no, I wouldn't, then what was your reason? The top one there is, I prefer to shop from local retailers, so that's a bit of a sustainability thing, nationalistic thing, call it what you will. I might do, I just haven't yet, so a bit unsure there. But there's quite a wide split between them all, really. This is one of those ones where, by the way, as I'm going through, feel free to take pictures of these charts. I don't think it's sustainable to ship from long distances. It's actually reasonably high as well. There's none of them that are really, really sort of low. But when we looked at the top reasons for why they wouldn't purchase from a UK retailer again, you see that there's a little bit of a difference, right? So with Australia, they say that they're concerned about being scammed. So why is that? I assume that there must have been some kind of local news or some sort of local event that was about scamming. So they're a little bit more sensitive to it. So if you're targeting Australia, something that you should factor in. Ireland is saying prefer to shop from local retailers, and USA saying I'll be worried if there was an issue with my order. What factors would you most take into consideration when deciding to purchase from an international online retailer? The thing is, people say things, but how we say things doesn't necessarily correlate with how we actually behave. So they're saying the most important thing here is delivery date and time, which is a bit much, really, isn't it? I mean, if you're trying to get something sent to Australia, is it realistic to push for a really fast delivery time? I think you kind of recognise, don't you, in your mind, maybe it will take a little while to get the other side of the planet. Price and currency conversion is obviously a very, very big one. There's lots of people here who can help you with that, obviously. And hidden costs on delivery. So when you go internationally, that stuff can be quite significant, right? If you screw up the customs and then someone gets something delivered to them and they say, by the way, you've got to go and pay £30 to pick this up from your post office. And then this is just splitting it out by country again. So that's USA on the bottom, Ireland and Australia at the top there. And delivery date and time is quite a big one. But actually in Australia, price and currency conversion is just a little bit higher. You all got it? What factors would you most take? Oh yeah, so this was, we gave them the opportunity to just say something additional. So we said, well, you know, give us a little bit more insight into this. So what factors are most taken into consideration when deciding to purchase from an online retailer? Reputation, makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Shipping cost, another factor. Which courier is used in Ireland for delivery? This is a very interesting question, isn't it? Whether people are actually really bothered about the type of courier that's actually delivering it. Could they have some degree of control over it? Could that be, could the price kind of reflect that? It's an interesting question in this country. Maybe it's an interesting question internationally as well. Terrible grammar here, reliable on communication, but it does kind of make sense, isn't it? That's like a post-purchase thing. If you buy something, you do want to know what's going on. So maybe internationally, that's a bigger factor. Addition of taxes on collection. Since the UK has left the EU, that pops up a little bit, by the way, in these figures. And this person just said, I don't need a prescription. I just thought I'd share that with you. Sometimes people just put things down and you're not really too sure. I mean, I think you do need a prescription, if I'm being honest. But here we are. So reasons to shop with UK retailers. What do they say is kind of good? Oh, sorry, I forgot our little animation there. Just enjoy that for a minute, because they did spend a long time doing that. So would you say you understand the consequences Brexit, yes, Brexit, has had on purchasing from a UK retailer? And you can see the split here, right? So they kind of say that they do, but the biggest one here is Ireland, right? So Ireland have a much bigger understanding of that. They're right next door to us. We're the biggest trading partner for Ireland, so it would have been reported in the news really rather a lot. But if you remember, if you cast your mind back to the Brexit shenanigans, it weren't half boring, wasn't it? And it went on for years and years and years and years. So would it realistically get reported quite as much in Australia and the US? Probably not. So there's a little bit of a lesser understanding of it there. Has it made you less or more likely to purchase from a UK retailer, though? And Ireland are saying quite strongly less likely, actually. So USA, they don't really seem to understand what it's all about. They just say, oh, I don't really know what you're talking about. That's the strongest one there. But in Ireland, they're much more conscious of what Brexit has done, whether it's positive or negative. You can decide. What do you think would make shopping from a UK retailer more attractive? Reassurance you will not be hit with unexpected fees. Obviously, that's quite an important thing. Faster and more reliable delivery and returns. Again, I think that's quite an interesting question, that one, because it is a bit of a weird thing to do, to buy something from a country that is on the other side of the planet. It is just a bit strange. So in order for you to do that, you must want that thing, right? And is it realistic to just expect them to get it to you really quickly? Because on the other side of it, they'll be saying, but I want it to happen really sustainably. And all three of them said that reassurance they will not be hit with unexpected fees was the top one for all three markets. What do you think would make shopping from UK retailer more attractive? So again, we got some feedback from these folks. We let them type in whatever was in their mind, and people do. If you let them say things, they do. So communication, again, was like a really big thing. So post-purchase, again, there's lots of people you could talk to about post-purchase stuff here. Very big deal these days. Cheaper options, makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Speed and reliability. Free delivery, by the way. Internationally, free delivery. UK returning to the EU. Not too sure about that. Try and keep a product free of charge in exchange for posting feedback. I don't think that's real. Is that legal? I don't think that's legal, is it? And they didn't need a prescription. They actually put it in again for a different question, different feedback. They also said they don't need a prescription. I'm starting to get worried about this person. Did you fill this form out? Did anyone here do that? So preferred categories. What do they actually buy when they go to UK retailers? This, I think, is a bit of a bad news one, right? So what you've got to do is take these two together, and these two together. So which of these statements do you agree most strongly with? They have interesting brands that I like, or they don't offer things that I like. So quite strongly, they've got brands that I like, right? So the UK, we are kind of very well regarded internationally, you know, brand Britain and stuff like that, as having like good quality goods, good brands and all that sort of thing. So that seems to shine through there. This bottom one here, they produce high quality products, so again, very strongly agree with that. But in the middle here, I think they're trustworthy, or I don't trust them, is neck and neck. And I don't think that's terribly encouraging, really, is it? If you were to purchase from a UK retailer, which product category would you most like to purchase from? There's a little bit of difference, but clothing really is our sort of big thing. So we're sort of well regarded for clothing. You don't have to iron your top. We've just established that. So all of them are saying that. Gifts is quite strong in the US as well. There's some categories though, like sports and outdoors, in places like Australia and USA, where it's a bit lower. So if you think about those countries, think about surfing and skateboarding and stuff like that. They're very strongly supplied internally with that. So can you realistically go and take a big market share if you're a sports and outdoor retailer? Probably they've got it covered. Not so much surfing in Ireland, I'm afraid. Please give your reason for choosing that particular product category. So look at this one. This is a lovely one, isn't it? I like British products in that category. So that brand Britain thing does actually shine through quite strongly for the US. And it's a very mixed bag for Australia and Ireland, actually, on that one. Please give your reasons for doing that. So curiosity and cheap were some of the things. You know what's coming at the bottom here, don't you? What's going to be the last entry that makes it onto this slide? Like to try something different. So just for the heck of it, see what I might like. Because I couldn't continue the survey until I pick one. I buy what I buy because it's what I want, period. Fair enough. And some people just go, bananas, look at this. Look at the length of this. It's the only one I could think of, and I would buy soccer balls since the English Premier League is so much better than the A-League. So it just stands to reason, with a capital S following a comma, by the way, that they probably take better care of their balls. LOL. I mean, why would you do that? Who reads this stuff? Who puts it in a presentation? No one. Right, delivery and returns. This is obviously an important bit. This is all about how much they will spend and how long they expect to wait for things to be delivered. How long do you expect to wait to receive a standard delivery from a UK retailer? Bearing in mind this is international customers. I don't know, that's relatively encouraging, isn't it? 5 to 10 days is kind of reasonable. I think we can probably achieve that and keep the cost down a little bit. 3 to 5 is disappointingly high. I think you do have to accept that. And then we split it out by country, okay? So you've got Australia, Ireland and USA. But 5 to 10 business days is the big one for the US. 3 to 5 for the island, so we are a little bit closer to them. So I guess that's kind of how they feel about it. Australians are pretty unreasonable. I think you've got to say that, haven't you? I mean, it's the other side of the planet, for goodness sake. But they just want it to get there pretty fast. This is one of those questions where we allowed them to have a sliding scale. So how much, on average, do you expect to pay in delivery charges from a UK retailer to a retailer in your country? What I find amazing about this is that people chose £13. Not one person, 3% of them said £13. People said £21, right? Not 20, £21. It's very, very specific, isn't it? But what they seem to be congregating around really is £5 and £10. And then we split it out. So that was Ireland. This is USA. So they're saying more like £10. Very encouraging amount of people saying £15, I think you have to say. And this is Australia, which is absolutely all over the place. There's not really any sort of pattern there. But, you know, well done, 3% of them for saying £23. I do admire that. How many days do you expect to be given to return a UK item after it's been delivered? And this one does have quite a big split by the different regions. So 25 to 30 days, 10 to 20 days is actually reasonably high. It's not too bad, is it? And this is it split out by country. So how many days do you expect to be given to return a UK item? 25 to 30 is your biggest one in Australia. 10 to 20 days is actually the strongest one in Ireland. 10 to 20 days also very strong in the US. So the returns expectations in the US is actually quite different from other countries, as you're going to see in a minute. How much do you think is reasonable to pay to return an item purchased from a UK retailer? So there's quite a reasonable split, but there's a very strong proportion here saying I don't want to pay, which is quite amazing, really, isn't it? And then, of course, if we split it out by country, you can see that the US really are the dominant ones there. So they're saying I don't really want to pay. So if you're targeting these markets, you know, you really need to look at the local retailers there and think, what do they offer? What is the standard expectation that seems to be pushed upon people in that country? Feels to me like a lot of retailers don't charge them in that country, so they wouldn't expect you to charge them either. There we are. We're all done. Does anyone want to have a question? Oh, hold on. I might need to put these on.
Hi, sorry.
I'm not listening to music. I am listening.
Oh, closer, sorry. Hi. My name's Olivia and I work at the Whiskey Exchange. So we sell booze. No, can't hear me.
It just stops me hearing you.
Someone's changed the colour on it.
Oh.
Sorry. Hi, can you hear me?
There you are.
I'm Olivia and I work at the Whiskey Exchange. So we sell spirits and wines online.
Whiskey, right?
Not just, but yeah, most of it is whiskey. I was wondering on that slide that you were showing about the slider that people were expecting to pay for delivery. Is it delivery only, or is it delivery and duty and taxes and whatnot?
So because it's a shopper survey,
right.
You just have to say delivery generally because they don't think about stuff like that. I know we do because that's our business, but they just wouldn't think that.
Fine, so it's delivery only.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Or what they perceive delivery to mean.
Hi, I'm from an online prescription glasses, pure play e-commerce. So quite interesting to see the word prescription coming up. Any idea if that's medical prescription or it's an eyewear prescription? Eye prescription.
I don't know. I think it was someone who's just a bit unhinged.
And also missed the beginning. How big is the sample size, and did you have any breakdown of the demographics in answering any of those questions?
So it's 1,500 respondents. We didn't break down into demographics. I think probably we could if we went in and messed about with a survey, but that would require work.
Okay, and were they online buyers or just a mix of on and offline?
It was done through. Oh my goodness, I can't remember their name. It's one of these sort of big survey type. You know, you go and you plug it in, and they. So it will be people who can use a computer.
Okay.
So you had to fill it out on a computer, but yeah.
Can we get a copy of it? Are we allowed to?
No.
No. Okay.
You can, yeah. If you want a copy of it, email us and I'll send it to you. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thanks very much, everybody. Thank you.